Welcome, everybody, to issue 76 of Your Heroes Asylum. My name is Mike. We want to welcome you guys here. Thank you for downloading. We got Kane over here to my top right.
Hello, everyone.
Left. So, welcome, guys, again. This is Heroes Asylum. We are a weekly podcast, YouTube channel where we discuss the things that happened last week. Rumors, news of comic books, just like pretty much kind of anything that falls into our genre of geekdom in the geekverse. So we just want to say thank you guys for listening to us, subscribing. A million podcasts and YouTube channels out there for you guys to check out, and you came to us. So thank you, inmates, Padawans, or Padawans, as we will call
Padawan, Padawans.
Padawan, yes.
Padawans.
So how you been doing?
How you doing, sir? Pretty good.
Very
Just
good.
enjoying another quiet Sunday at home.
Yes.
As everyone else is, so.
Well, so we did a recording last night. We've been doing on our Midnight Movie channel, which is our sister channel. We've been doing the Infinity Saga for the Heroes Asylum. We decided to pick a whole bunch of movies from the total MCU and what we thought were the best ones for the Infinity Saga. And so last night we did probably one of my favorite ones. We did Age of Ultron. Which will be dropping this week, so make sure you guys do check that out. Best place to find that probably our Facebook page, but there's other. We have a website, and there's also for the Midnight Movie. There is a page for them, or for that page that's on Anchor. So take a look at that one as well, guys.
Definitely check it out. Tons of stuff in there.
Oh, yeah.
The library's ever growing, every weekly and daily.
Yeah.
So do check it out.
So something I read this weekend, a blast from the past this week for the number one ranked movie of this weekend. You and I did discuss this a couple of yesterday, but what do you think about it? Empire Strikes Back being the best-selling movie this weekend.
A little odd, but with the times we're in, not unexpected. I mean, I think they're doing a lot of re-releases of older films. I think they're releasing Back to the Future, or they have or haven't already. I know that's going to come out pretty soon.
Yeah, I think they did. I think it was Back to the Future and Jurassic Park, like some good old classic ones.
Yeah, the bigger ones they're going to re-release, I guess, just to test the waters and see if they can get like crowds to come back in. Interesting. That's all I'll say. I mean, I've always loved watching Star Wars on the big screen anyway, and just to have it back in the big screen. I know it's not around here, unfortunately, but
no.
I would love to have the chance to see a movie like that again on the big screen, and wherever they're playing it at, I am jealous.
Yeah, me too.
Really jealous, because the whole thing about Star Wars, I mean, watching at home and the watch-alongs that we've done have been great, but there's just something about it when you go to the theater and watch Star Wars. You get immersed in that world. I mean, the sound and everything. It's just a whole different experience. And then, I mean, for it to be number one, I think is kind of on point, especially now.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's taking people back to a more comfortable time in their lives. More, you're getting that. This is basically you're putting on the Huggy, and you're sitting down, and you're just like you're feeling safe again, which I think is great. It's 23 years since the limited edition or special edition that was re-released in the theaters. So that's where the marking is. I think that was like the late 90s, 97 or so is when they did those re-releasing. I remember catching those in the theater, which I loved. I was a happy little fanboy back then to be able to go back.
We all were on the re-releases. It kind of whetted our appetite because we knew after those re-releases we were going to get the prequels, and we're so excited. And prequels, they were what they were. So, but it's still Star Wars, and they're basically the bad cousin that we don't want to admit is part of the family, but they're part of the family.
No, those are the sequels now. Remember those?
That's
the side of the family we don't talk about.
Yeah. No, they're talk about those sequels sometime. Yeah. Oh boy. Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I thought that was kind of cool when I read that this weekend. I was like, oh, that's nice to see the Hollywood can't produce anything, but what they're going to do is send out some old favorites. Again, like I said, I think you were right on the Back to the Future. I don't know if that's come out or going to be released out.
I don't know.
I think
I don't have
Jurassic
any information
Park,
on it yet.
and I believe there was another one. See, I'm always a big fan of the fandom that movie group where they like to do those 20-year anniversaries, or they do these random movies. They did. Was it Princess Bride last year? Mm-hmm. And me and a friend, we actually went out and I got to see that on the big screen again, which I thought that was awesome to check out.
Yeah, it's cool. And hopefully, when after this whole pandemic thing is over, because it will end, they actually do something like that, like once a month they'll release like an older type movie for people to watch in the big screen that maybe they haven't had a chance to watch in the big screen because they either weren't born yet or other circumstances.
Yeah,
So it'd be nice, just to
we
keep that feather going.
we actually have here locally here in Orlando. We have there's a place that actually does
Oh, like
outside
yeah,
ones, and I've thought
yeah,
about it because they're usually like Monday and Tuesdays. And I know your schedule's crap, but I was
yeah.
thinking about trying to get like a couple of people and get together and just bring some recording equipment and doing a watch along in the park. Basically, would be I thought that would be kind of fun. And to do it as a big group, and I could just bring in a couple of microphones that could capture everybody's talking, and I think they're usually like Mondays or Tuesdays at this location. And I was
That'd
gonna
be a fun thing to do. Maybe I'll just take a Monday or Tuesday off for the hell of it.
Yeah, because they do different movies. Some of them aren't in our genre or things that we probably would like. Oh yeah, I definitely need to go see this one.
Mm.
But some of them are. So what do you have for news to kind of start us off?
Have you heard of HasJab at all?
Easy, no, no. That sounds like
Okay.
something painful.
HasJab is kind of like a crowdfunding program that basically these guys get together. I mean, I think last year I probably shared a picture with you. Maybe I put it on the Facebook page that they created basically an accurate, basically almost like a toy of the Jabba the Hutt's like sail barge.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
No.
Okay. Well, also HasJab did a crowdfunding thing for Unicron. They actually did like a life-size transforming toy of Unicron. Where he was like huge.
Like when you say life size, like he was planet size, or he was like.
He was like not
sorry.
planet size, man. Come
Sorry.
on. That's a little crazy there, sir. But no, they actually do it almost like a I don't know what the word I want to use is. It's almost like they're the size they should be if you were playing with them as a toy. That's the way I look at it.
Okay. So if you look at Optimus Prime from G1, the size of him saying maybe a foot tall, then Unicron would be 20 feet tall then, or something
exactly.
Like, okay. Well, probably bigger than that.
HasJab has struck again, and they have done another figure, and it's the largest figure they have ever done, and that is of the Sentinel. One of the Sentinels from like the X-Men's. It stands at 26, 3 inches, 669 millimeters. Comes with a couple different heads, tentacles, accessories, and it's going for the cheap price of $350.
Really?
So you can look for it's only $350. So hey, why not get a big It's about yay big, I guess you could say it like that. So if you got X-Men toys and you want to fight the Sentinels, that's going to be out probably by the holidays. They just basically showed a picture of it recently, and I thought it was kind of cool. I was like, oh wow! And these are basically the same guys who does those crowdfunding things. Like if you had an idea and wanted like a life size, let's say you wanted like Cybertron as a planet, maybe they could do something like that, and then get that going. But I thought it was actually pretty cool. You see these things now along with NECA. They're another company who does like these life size things, and now HasJab has done it.
Tab is what
it's called HasJab. No, HasLab, not HasJab.
HasLab.
HasJab is something else.
Sentinel. Let's see what we got here.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Okay, yeah, that does actually look pretty
it?
good. Yeah, and it's a same size as the Wolverine figurine that they have right next to him.
Yeah, they do a lot of cool stuff. Like I said, they started off, I believe, last year with the Jawas, sail barge, and they did Unicron, and now they're doing this. So I think it's kind of cool. I mean, we're not getting movies, but hey, we're getting some cool new figures.
Definitely. I mean, you got everything with McFarlane doing, starting up with his DC run.
Yeah, he's making me very happy so far. Like he's releasing all the Dark Knight Metal action figures, which are all in pre-order for August, and I pre-ordered a couple of them, and guess what? They're sold out.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah,
I'm so mad right now. Like, give me a break. Frustrating. I know you got something there that you've been holding on to for a week, so go ahead.
A week.
Spill it.
A week.
Well, not a week, maybe 2 weeks. No, a week. When did this news come out? Monday?
Which news? Which one are you trying to predict on me?
I'm looking at it right now. The HBO Max orders this Batman spinoff.
Oh, the Batman spinoff. You know what? That did not end up in my list, but we can definitely talk about that. Yeah, the HBO Max saying that they're going to go ahead and do a spinoff television series to the Batman, which hasn't been released yet. But they're already planning on doing a television series, and it's basically going to be, from everything I had read, and you probably read the same thing, it was going to take place year one of Batman, since this is year two, I guess, Robertson's is going to be year 2 or 3. And basically everything I've read, we don't have casting or they don't have full plot description, but what it was is that Batman would not be there, but it would be about the GCPD dealing with the fact of this shadowy figure now. So almost as if when you guys watched Gotham to the last episode, and now we see okay, Batman's here now. And it's almost as if they were going to pick up basically right after that episode. If Gotham went for an extra season, imagine that if that Batman would just be there. I think from the way they're talking about it, there'll be less Batman interaction or less Bruce Wayne interaction than Gotham. So I'm not a fan of the idea. I think Gotham did it well. Why toy with it and do anything unless it's going to be? I guess I can kind of lead into this piece of news that I was kind of holding on. Was that Batman will be its own universe separate from DCU. So if anything, if they take this show and use it to build that universe, I think would be better. And maybe if
I think it would be better too if they're talking about intertwining them. So do it that way. I mean, if you're not going to have Batman on there, I mean, have somebody else on there.
Well, maybe not just Batman, but maybe include like the creation of now we're seeing the creation of a new Joker, not a Joker, sorry, Riddler, a new Riddler. Maybe take it and show the birth of the Riddler, just like we did see in Gotham, but show it for this universe, and then we build him up over the season, and then bam, 2 years from now we get a movie of what he's completely become. I mean, if they use the television series to build on their universe like they're talking, I know you don't like the idea of the Batman being his own universe.
I hate this idea. I really do.
I would love to see him interact with the rest of them, but I understand their thoughts behind it. So, but
I just think we've had enough of it in the movies. Like, I mean, they were trying to build him around the Justice League with Batman v Superman and Justice League and whatever, and I guess it failed, and they don't want to do that no more. But the previous films were all centered in their own Batman universe, and now you just want to go back and do it again. And I get it, because Nolan's stuff was basically Batman. That was his own universe. But we're just going back to the well, and honestly, I don't want to see a Gotham piece. Like I said, Gotham, I thought did it pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, it was like pulling teeth to get you to even watch that, and once you did, you were okay. But
and then I was okay after I was like, okay, this is not the Batman that I read, and I have to look at it in a different way, and I did, and I enjoyed it. And now you're asking me, okay, but we're going to make a Gotham City PD. I'm like, I don't care, because obviously you're not going to have Jim Gordon on there. I don't think. I mean, that's not confirmed. I mean, maybe Renee Montoya. We talked about that. There's not going to be a Bullock on there. So, like, you got to make me care for this show. Like, because right now, like, having Batman there but not there as the shadowy figure, I mean, like, why? Like, I just don't understand.
Well, again, that's why I was thinking that they could build it as a tool to expand the world.
I just don't think they'll do that. I think they're just going to make it like, hey, we're part of the Gotham City PD, and this is how it is. Almost like an NYPD Blue, but Gotham PD.
Basically, yeah. That's basically what they're going to go around and do their regular business. Just this, they're going to catch the criminals that Batman leaves around for them, and then they're going to probably have somebody trying to figure out who he is. You're going to get one conspiracy detective that's going to go, I'm going to find out who he is. And, it's kind of where the route they're most likely going to take on this. Again, I'm iffy on the Batman standalone universe. I think he's got such a wealth and well of characters that if they really truly delve into it, he can be a standalone universe, and then the rest of the DC universe can be on their own, because there are so many characters and such great stories that they can do without Batman. You really don't need him there.
That's true. You're right.
You really don't need Superman. Again, you're the Batman fan. I'm the Superman. If anybody can figure this out in the lighting of the show, I'm the lighting one. He's the darker one. So
if you haven't caught that yet, it's been about
if you can't tell by the two Superman statue and the Superman pictures behind me, there's Superman in here in this room,
or the Batwing floating down right here. So come on.
But I think that if they went that route, I wouldn't be completely upset, because I don't know if they're going to be able to spend the time that you would love on your character. You want the time and the love and the dedication spent on your Batman character when they're trying to introduce other people. And I think the Batman will get pushed to the backside as they introduce new characters. I think give the Batman fans what they want. That's their moneymaker. That's their $1 billion guaranteed paycheck every time. Let that breathe on it in its own universe, and let's try to build a DC universe with the Justice League or a Justice League type.
Well, that's what they're planning on doing.
Yeah,
I mean, they're going to plan to build a Justice League without Batman or Superman. So
and I'm okay with that.
that's what it looks like. So,
I mean,
I can't be angry about it. They're gonna do
Trinity,
it.
the Holy Trinity will be there to, I think, breathe life at certain points. I think that's again. I think that we already know that Henry's coming back in a sort of. I think they said a Hulk sort of way that he'll be there as kind of a backing character, and I think the same could go for. You okay there? I'm keeping you up?
No, sorry about
Okay.
that. A little hiccup.
But yeah, I think that'll be good for DC to kind of branch out that way. What do you got? Or do you got more
well,
on this?
speaking of, as we're staying in the Bat universe, Jevica Leslie. I
Yes.
think that's how you pronounce it. If you don't,
I wasn't sure.
Jevica
I think
Leslie?
that's how you pronounce it. That's how I. Or,
Okay, Jevica Leslie has been announced as she's going to be the new Batwoman for season 2. She'll be taking the place of Ruby Rose, who abruptly left after season 1. And we're gonna get her. She's gonna play that Ryan Page character, messy but intelligent. She can fight. I mean, lovable. I mean, whatever. Everybody's read the synopsis already, so she'll be appearing in season 2 whenever they start filming, which should be next month, I believe. That's what I read. All the Vancouver shows are gonna start filming next month, so on a limited basis. But I don't know. I haven't seen her much of what she's done. So I don't know.
I looked up her. I
know nothing of her. So.
Yeah, which I think that might be great. I think that might be. I mean, Ruby Rose. Not that people didn't know about Ruby Rose. She had a few acting roles here and there that people would go, "Oh, okay, I remember her." If you saw the Meg, she was in there as one of the like the tough mechanic.
I thought she was good in the Meg.
Yeah, I thought she did a great job in the Meg. But I think this will be great for this character, and I love the fact that of the character of the type of character they're talking about. It sounds like Jason Todd to me.
A little bit, doesn't it?
She's out. She's living basically in a van under by the river. I mean, that's kind of when you look at what her living situation is. That she spent years as a drug runner, dodging the cops, masking her pain with bad habits. This sounds like and it says that today Ryan lives in her van with her plant, and a girl who would steal milk for an alley cat, but was also kill you with her bare hands. This all sounds Jason Todd to me. So I'm almost appreciate. At first, I was kind of bitter. I was like, "Why are you ignoring the other Batwomen characters?" I mean, at first, I was kind of ticked. And the more I read about this character, I was like, "Wait a second. This is a female Jason Todd that they can bring in and still have that edge to her. She's still going to fall under the lesbian community, which is perfectly fine. She's out, so she's not kind of like hiding like she was before. I think this may be a great one, and it's almost a little refreshing that they're taking an original twist on her. They're not taking somebody else and tokenizing them and turning their race. They're going, no, we're going to just create a brand new character, and she's just going to be black. And I've heard a couple of people out there, some of the YouTubers I'm fans of, that are upset about the tokenization, and I'm like, this one I'm not going to throw the token flag out.
I don't think you can. I mean, like I said, it's a new character. I mean, it says it right there. I mean, that's what Crippy. I said Eric Crippy. Berlanti. He created a new character for this entire universe, and the showrunner for Batwoman is what they wanted, and they're going to get it. I mean, it's cool in a way because you can create your own character. You don't have to live on past lore. So that's positive.
Yeah, opens up
a lot. I mean, I'm just interested to see what they're going to do in the relation to like Wayne Tower, Wayne Manor, and all that stuff. I mean, that's going to be the tricky part. I mean, how do you get her to be somewhat connected to that? I mean, or not? I don't know.
Yeah, that's gonna be the big trick. That's what kind of story and threading, and that's where Berlanti can get a little bit in trouble because he sometimes comes out swinging and does an amazing job, and sometimes he gets a bad one. So we'll just have to wait. I think it's awesome. Ruby Rose got behind her. I mean, you kind of have to as that character or as an actor being part of this world and bowing out. I mean, she bowed out gracefully. She wasn't ready for the stardom and the pressure that comes with being a lead to a movie or into a TV series.
Yeah, I read a lot of things, and they said like the truth is, people who know the truth know the truth. I'm like, I mean, we're never gonna know. I mean, it's all speculative. I mean, maybe I heard like she couldn't work the long hours. She didn't want to be in Vancouver. I mean, we don't know the
Yep.
truth. But who knows? Maybe it was one day, Batwoman's on for a couple seasons, and
We'll know the truth. It'll come out one day. I mean,
the
down the
truth
road.
always comes
Yeah.
out.
I mean, one day she's going to have an interview, and further down her career, and she's going to say, this is what really happened. I just didn't feel this, and I left. And honestly, everything that sounds like everybody was amicable about the separation. So that's something you got to give to CW. Got to give to Ruby Rose, Belanti. You just got to say, hey, everybody was adults. This is how you be. This is how you be an adult in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
So that one was actually on my list. Let me see what the next one is. Well, I guess I can go to. We can stick into the DC world.
Stay in the CW world.
You bet. Well, yes and no. This one is actually DC Universe / CW, but then it'll end up being all CW. But DC Stargirl renewed for season 2, which I knew that was going to happen. I mean, if anybody had seen Stargirl after this first episode, I knew this was going to be a re-signing instantly. I didn't have to see the 5 episodes like that we always talk about for Heroes Asylum, but they have signed second season with CW. It will migrate from DC Universe over to becoming a network original series. And again, this is probably one of my biggest pet peeves. I see all these people going, "Oh, the death of DC Universe." They were talking about the death of DC Universe the week before it came out. I just see this being what DC Universe is going to be great for, spawning something, being the testing grounds for new product, and that's basically what they're doing. This is the only show, by the way, folks, that has gone from CW or from DC Universe out to the real world, and it's cutting its ties. So that was not. This is the other shows are going to be airing on other networks, but they're not leaving the home of CW. So that's just they I think HBO is getting Doom Patrol, but that was still being produced primarily from the DC Universe. This I think already started. I think CW was just kind of nervous about it, and they're like, hey, well, let's work together, and then afterwards, like, this is really good. We'll take it.
Yeah.
So I just feel a lot of people have taken a distaste towards the DC universe and just really bash it right off the bat. And I also think that these are the same people that don't have subscriptions to it, and they just like to run their mouth. If they actually got in there and saw it, yes, it's not all about television. This DC Universe is truly the best name for that app. Is DC Universe? It covers everything. It covers movies. It covers TV series, which, I mean, it's been around for about almost 2 years now, and it's released quite a few series. They haven't branched out to movies, but again, now with HBO Max, that kind of took that weight from them.
Yeah, now they'll be able to make those movies. They got a little bit more cash behind them now.
But you can. I mean, that the library for shows animated it's immense. Right this week, I've started rewatching the Batman from the early 2000s. So
it's a pretty underrated series
very,
too.
Yeah, very. There was a YouTube artist or creator I saw that he did a kind of this was probably the most underrated and overlooked Batman series, and it kind of it was like reignited my want to rewatch it.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was kind of dark too.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean, it wasn't as dark as the animated series, but it had dark moments. The only thing I did not like was their design of the Joker.
Well, again, that was a dark tone too. When you look at the Joker, you look at the Riddler, you look at Clayface, you look at a lot of it. It's dark. Is I think of the DC the animated the original Batman one from the 90s. That one was darker not only in just tone and color, but emotional tone. But when you look at grittiness and almost horror based, you're gonna get more of that in the Batman when you really see some of the stuff they do. The look of Hugo Strange. I mean, just the overall look that show provided was a little shocking even for kids, I think.
Mm-hmm. And the opening intro, I believe, was done by The Edge too, which had a pretty good opening, like the Batman. I just remember that guitar solo when it opened it up. So, yeah, one of the most underrated ones they have out there, and I think it ran for 3 or 4 seasons too. And I think I believe towards the end they tangentially started introducing Justice League members, which was actually kind of cool.
First 2 seasons were primarily him by himself. Third season was a little weird. I think it was around fourth season the Justice League started coming in, and then really when it came to the very end of it, you saw the birth of the grittier Batman. You saw the act. You actually get to see Batman in 5 seasons go from year one to Nightwing's out there now, and he's the thick shouldered, squared off jaw Batman we knew from the Dark Knight Returns. You can see that transition, and you see in the last couple of episodes that character there, and it's great. And he's one of my favorite Nightwings is on there. That version of Nightwing is on there. So a lot of versions they treat Nightwing as kind of like a joke, kind of tripping over himself in a bit, but.
They introduced one of the Robins as well. Was it Tim Drake or
that one? I believe was Tim Drake. Yeah,
it was Tim Drake. They had Batgirl
and introducing
on there.
Jason Todd in an animated arena is very dangerous because then the people are going to want to go, oh, who is this? Young kids are going, oh, Jason, who's Jason? And then they look up the history of Jason, like, oh God, no. So yeah, I think you're always going to get Tim or you're going to get Dick. It's really the only two.
I think the only way you'll see Jason is in the Titans TV show. That's it.
Yeah, that's really
the only way.
That in the animated movies. That's really all you're going to see. Then even Damien. That's the only place I think you're really going to see Damien is in the animated movies.
Yeah, you won't see Damien live action.
Because again, even Damien's got a darker origin story, just like Jason does. Jason's got a dark origin story, and he's got a dark ending for a while. So yeah, the animated wise, yeah, you're not going to see. You're going to
no. You will see Kerwin Walters suit up as Red Hood before you see it anywhere else. Yeah, that's my prediction.
You're going to see. Yeah, you're going to see. You're going to see Dick, and you're going to see Tim for
Dick and Tim. That's it.
Yeah, those are the safe ones.
And maybe Carrie Kelly too, or Stephanie Brown. I don't know, but you won't see Jason. Nope, not going to happen at all.
All right, so which one do you have next?
Hey, did you check out the first trailer? Actually, we got a teaser trailer 2 weeks ago from The Boys. Now we got the actual trailer that came out this week. It basically highlights season 2, what we're going to get, and more blood, more guts, more fighting, more Billy the Butcher, and more of The Boys. I thought it looked great. I mean, what else can I say about it? I think I've been looking forward to season 2 since season 1 ended, so. Now we're getting it. I guess got a couple months. September is going to come out, I believe. So we're getting it now. One of the first shots I saw was he had Black Noir, and I guess he was hunting that guy from last who became a super somewhere in Afghanistan. And you see him basically going through the entire village, just murdering people. And then like the ending is the guy trying to blow himself up. Doesn't. Noir cuts his head off, is leaving with the head, and he sees a little kid basically on the bed. He takes the stuffed animal and starts playing with it. But it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
And then he just leaves. But it was one of the highlights of last year, and I think The Boys will not disappoint coming this year as well.
If they stick to the books, I've read 3 of the. I can't even tell you how many number of volumes of The Boys. They're continuing on, and they're doing a great job. I think that's one of the few that you don't see too heavy. You do see some changes, but nothing heavy enough to influence what they're trying to get at. Umbrella Academy was one of those ones. There were quite a few changes. The other one that was out on,
and that trailer dropped this week as
Lock
well.
and Key. Lock and Key. Lock and Key really made some big changes, I thought. But I think the boys they're just hitting it right out of the park on every single one of them.
And you got a good showrunner and Eric Kripke. So he did Supernatural. And he also did Revolution.
Crippy. Is he a new guy? Is he a new guy to the
Eric Kripke?
Yeah, is he new?
Yeah, he's been around for a while.
He just did a couple of commercials.
Did a couple of commercials. Eric Kripke.
So I know you got a chance to check it out. So let's talk about it. It's all over Netflix right now. The Old Guard. What do you what's your opinion? What do you think?
Okay. When I first saw it, I just got off of work on Friday night, and I got home about 1:30 in the morning, and I saw it just pop on there. I'm like, what the hell is this? I had no idea what it was. No idea. So I'm like, okay, let me just put this on, drink a couple beers, and just watch it and just pass out. Like I said, I didn't know anything about the books or comics. And I'm thinking, it's going to be like a John Wick type of infantry movie. All right, we got a team. Oh, Charlize Theron's in it. Cool. She's basically replaced the atomic blonde again. All right. And then there's this scene where they get tripped up, or sorry about that. They get led into this like cavern, And they get ambushed, they get killed. I'm like, okay, well, they're dead. Oh, that's it. That's interesting. So I guess they're gonna do the movie in flashbacks, and then they get up and they start healing. Like the bullets start coming out of their heads, and all their wounds are just basically tied together. And like, what is this? And then I was hooked. And then you find out there are these immortal warriors. You see, like they were from the past. They were like they were in the battles of the South versus the West, or all that. They were all over the place. And it doesn't go too much into the backstory, which kind of pissed me off because I wanted to know more. But you get enough of a story where I dug it. It's like a modern day telling of the Highlander. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I didn't expect it, and I fell in love. Like, oh my god, can they just drop another movie now? Can I? Because I want to know more about this world. I want to know more about that girl you see in the post credit scene. I want to know what everything. I'm like, wow, it just. And then you told me you had read the books, and you said that this movie is basically on point, as just following the books.
So for the most part, I mean, every they're always going to have their slight alterations, but yeah, for the most part, what you saw is what you read.
Now, because of that, I just downloaded the books and I'm starting reading them actually tonight. So
very cool. Yeah, you're definitely going to enjoy them. You'll definitely get your backstory. I think what they're going to do is, since they're introducing, I can't remember her name, the Asian one of them, for the next series episode or the next movie. I think that's probably where you're going to actually venture more into their backstory, because a lot of Andy's backstory took place with her, and I think that you're probably going to get more of her backstory. I would think you would get more of the backstory of Booker. You and I were talking about that. I think with Booker, him betraying them, if they would have shown a backstory, you probably would have seen more of that, because when he was still mortal, hadn't realized he was immortal, he betrayed the Russian army back in the 1832 or 1812, I think, around when it was. So you kind of see those hints, but I think it would have been great to see more of that. But overall, I mean, it's just a great story, and I think they did a great job. You and I have talked about this. It's one of those fantasy talkings we always talk about. We've read a couple of news that there was this person trying to do the Highlander, this person's trying to redo the Highlander. Don't try to redo the Highlander, please. It's just been done and done well.
Yeah,
it took everything I hated about the Highlander series that I thought was silly, the not being able to give birth. That was like one of the big ones. I was like, well, that's kind of strange. What's a weird rule to have?
And the beheadings. Oh, actually, I kind of like the beheadings.
Yeah. So. Well, I mean, you could behead this one person. I'm pretty sure that they never. I think that's the one reason they didn't touch on it. I don't think if I don't remember them touching on it either. Now I'm thinking about it. In the comic books, that about a beheading. I mean, yeah, you take a person's head and go across the world. They can't grow it back. So who knows.
Well, maybe they could.
Maybe they tried to avoid that conversation so they didn't get sued.
Yeah.
But again, it's just been it was done well. Charisse did a great job. I think the rest of the cast was amazing, and and I'm sorry, the America guy. He's a dick in the comic books. Uber dick in the show or in the movie.
Big. Oh man, I couldn't stand that guy. I'm glad he got his. I mean, sorry, if you guys haven't watched it yet, check it out.
Check it out. Yeah, I think you have, because it's #1 on Netflix, by the way. So it's
yeah. One of the things, getting back to the Asian lady, I don't know her name. I am going to be fascinated when they actually do make a second movie, when they dive into her, of how she got freed from that prison that she was in. And just to think how long she was, in that prison.
Oh, he said 500 years.
And what it does to a person's psyche, and what's her mindset. I mean, you saw her when that credit scene. She looked sort of normal, but
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, you're down there for that long. You're not dead. You're gonna go a little wacky, and things are gonna go off the rails. So I'm gonna be fascinated when they actually have that reunion between her and Charlize. How that's gonna go.
Yeah, that definitely will.
That's a story waiting, and I can't wait. So,
but make sure you guys do check that out. It is on Netflix. If you guys have it, check it out. This one's worth it. It's one of the main reasons I keep Netflix around. Really, is primarily just for their movies, their shows. Some of the shows I like, but for the most part, I've already caught those shows in other areas. But the movies have just been just phenomenal. You know, you had
They're
Bright,
getting
you had
better,
Bright,
too.
you had
A lot better.
you had the one with Chris Hemsworth on it. I can't remember the name of that one, where he was a
Oh yeah,
special forces guy.
that was not a bad one either.
Yeah,
They
I
had
mean, so far they've been doing great. So you know,
Warrior Nun just
Warrior.
came
Well,
out. Which is another.
that's a show. I mean, I'm talking just their movies alone have been great, and they're like I said, I'm not knocking their TV series, but I started watching Dark this weekend.
How is that?
It's interesting.
I have it on my queue because it's just sitting there. I'm like, I don't know anything about it.
If you thought Battlestar Galactica was a little blue, Battlestar Galactica is like My Little Pony compared to Dark.
Really?
All right, yeah,
Oh.
Dark's dark. All right, it is.
No pun intended.
It's
right?
no pun intended. It is. It's real dark. It's the tones in it are very dark. It's a little weird to watch because it's done it was made in Germany and everybody's overdubbed. So that's the only thing that was kind of weird is like the overdubbing. But it's like I said, it's definitely a darker tone. You will most likely like it. But again, if Battlestar Galactica got a little too dark for you, you may not want to touch on this if you guys are listening. So
Yeah. It gets dark. People very dark, like my home, very dark. What else dropped? Did you check out the War of Cybertron trailer that dropped for Netflix?
Oh yeah, dude. I've been all over the War of Cybertron. I was still drooling over the trailer that dropped back in April.
Yeah, I guess this is a newer one. I think it's extended a little bit.
Just a little bit. It's pretty much the same one. There's a few extra things to it, but
I'm gonna be honest. At first when I saw it, I was not on board for this type of like CG that they were doing. But when you actually see it longer than a minute, I kind of dig it, and I kind of dig the fact that we're on Cybertron. We're gonna find out about the Great War because they've always alluded to the Great War.
Yeah.
Even in the old G1 series, even in the movies, they've alluded to this Great War, and that we're actually now in the middle of the war. You know, we're gonna see the casualties lost. Like one of the best scenes I saw in that trailer was basically they did a little pan back, and you see like these Autobots basically, you know, piked, just standing there like lifeless and dead. And that's the casualties of war that happened in Cybertron. And you could see the regret in Optimus Prime's face. And, you know, when he's talking, I don't know who does the voice of Prime. He's not Peter Cullen, but he's not bad.
no,
So,
yeah, the guy was doing pretty good.
You're not going to replace Welker or Cullen. Just not going to happen. So, but if you could do your own spin, you know, that's the best thing you could do. I thought the voice of Optimus Prime on Transformers Armada, you know, he wasn't trying to be Peter Cullen. He was just trying to be him. And I thought it worked out fine.
Yeah, and of course, Bumblebee has a voice.
Thank God.
So, but yeah, no, I've been a fan of that trailer again, the original one that came out, and I'm on a Transformers G1 Facebook group, and that's all we've been talking about. We're just excited about catching this. Just waiting. We've been waiting, I think, for the last 5 months of when's it coming? When's it coming? Because everything was that we knew about it. It was done pre-COVID. It was done and ready to go. Because it was supposed to drop June, so we knew everything was done. The trailer had came out. We're like, okay, it's going to drop June, on June. I think it was like 14th or something like that. Nothing. We never heard anything. Nothing. Like the trailer stopped from Netflix, and nothing was mentioned. It was still on Netflix's page, but it was like a generic looking thing. Like if you go on there now, you'll see that Cobra Kai is set to come onto Netflix, and it's just a very generic page. It doesn't have any of the cast pictures or anything. Just says Cobra Kai, Journey Continues or something. I forget whatever it said, but yeah, so that's when we knew Cobra Kai was coming. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago. But so the same thing kind of was with the War on Cybertron. You can watch the trailer, but nothing further than that. And that's what and then when they finally dropped this, that's when they announced, okay, this is coming out actually the end of this month. So we got another.
Yeah, the 26th, I believe, is coming out.
So yeah, so we here at Heroes Asylum and the Transformers fan page on Facebook. Yeah, we are ecstatic. Cannot wait.
Cannot wait. Check it out. Yeah, 26 should be interesting. Should be fun, and yeah, I can't wait. Maybe I'll start collecting Transformers again.
That's one reason. I've been itching to start collecting again because this group, I hate them to death because they'll be like, "Hey, look what I picked up on my Target run or my Walmart run." I'm like, "You mother!" I'll have to send you. I'll send you an invite for that group, man. They're pretty fun.
Because I'm also a member of another group called Action Figure Junkies.
Yeah.
And like I was not gonna be a member. It's like, nope, I'm not. I don't have any room for them. And all of a sudden, they post these pictures. Oh, look at this display I have here. Oh, I bought this. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh
Yeah,
gosh.
yeah. I've been itching to buy some Transformers, and I just in my head, I don't have room. I don't have room. Every time I pick one up, I'm like, oh, it's on sale. $8 off. Oh, no, I don't have room, and I just
You
have
don't
to
have
run
room,
away.
yeah.
I
Basically, you're just
walk
gonna be
down the
buying them to
row.
put in the box.
I walk down the row. I look at them, going yes, yes, no, and I don't know. I don't know why I do it to myself. It's just a
Yeah,
torture.
because I was thinking about actually buying some of the Transformers from the movie series, but I didn't like their designs.
No,
They were
the
just
studio series,
so.
and yeah, the studio series ones I don't like. I'm just looking at the War, and there's a Siege line of those
Yeah,
animated
the
others.
studio series sucked because they were just so. They just looked too complex. When you try, like, I had a friend who actually bought the Optimus Prime one, and
Spoken like a true adult.
yeah, well, first off, they were way too expensive. They're like 50,
Oh
$60, and then
wow,
like
yeah.
and then to change them was like a nightmare. I mean, the old G1s, or at least they had some, at least a little bit simplistic. These ones were like, no, you had to take this part off and put this part in. I'm like, oh no, I'm like,
No, when you filed your first tax return, you lost the ability to turn Transformers into anything. Sorry, it just happens. It just
yeah,
you got
yeah.
to deal with that. You lose that part of your brain when you become an adult.
You really do. There's like I tried doing that. It was a couple months ago. I was like, I could do this, and I couldn't do it. I told it's spaced out. Like, where does this go?
Yeah,
Like, how do I?
there like I said, there are three series. Most of them, honestly, if you get them, the most expensive one is like the $30 range. Most of them are $20 or $10 for the smaller unit ones. But when you get into even Megatron, and I think Starscream are like 25. So I mean, those aren't too bad
I
in
think the
price.
ones
But
that
again, I
are
just
bigger are like the combo ones that turn into the giant
oh
robots,
yeah,
like the
yeah the
the
combiners, yeah the
Constructicons. Yeah, the
combiners are
combiners.
yeah
Yeah,
those are going to be the more expensive ones. So
yeah. I had a couple combiners. So, and actually, they updated their look. They actually look way better now than they back then. Back then, they were kind of like bulky. Now you got them like they're slim, trim,
yeah.
and
Well,
they've been
they
working
even
out.
released a series for the Dinobots to be combiners, which I thought was cool that they actually did that.
Don't like that idea.
When you see it, you'll like it. It's
I'll look at
yeah,
it. I don't know.
it works when you actually see it. At first, I was like, no, they weren't supposed to be. But again, those were the only five like robots that didn't combine. I mean, that was
That's true. Was it five? I thought it was
yeah
only
five.
four.
Nope, five of them.
No, you had Snarl, Grimlock,
Sweep,
uh,
sweep,
Sweep. That's three.
sludge.
Budge. It's four. Who's the fifth one?
There was one more. I'm trying. I don't have them off the top of my head, but yeah, no. There's a five.
Okay.
There's a combiner. Enough for a combiner. They had.
Okay.
So
Well, as long as they're doing justice better than they did in the movies.
I
'Cause the
think they
movies,
did.
they were
Yeah.
all awful.
Oh yeah, they were horrible. Yeah.
They were terrible.
So next one I got. This one actually kind of swings us back around to DC. Last week, or the beginning of last week and the end of the week beforehand, there was rumor galore dropping. It's like somebody went stupid in the DC rumor mill, and just out of everything was Ben, Batman, Ryan Reynolds, Green Lantern, Justice League, Constantine, Batgirl. All of these things were just getting spouted out. We actually got confirmation from a scoop and writer for the Wrap, and the Wrap is one of the better sources. So if
Umberto, man,
yeah,
Umberto
yep,
Gonzalez is
yep,
one of the
exactly.
better guys out there.
Yeah, so he has here. He did confirm there is a Zatanna movie. We did talk about that. That it has been in development. Of course, it's been in development for a while. Also, Ezra will be starring in the up and coming Flash. Whatever drama and joke or whatever that was fizzled out. They also discussed that the Constantine movie rumor not happening. Actually, here's the order it has. Batgirl, Batman Beyond, that one will not become the Batgirl will not become Batman Beyond. At best, it will be a cameo or two. So they are looking at a Batgirl, but she's not going to be replacing Terry when they do that.
Good move.
This one you talked about, I think you and I talked about this a little bit before. The Justice League Rebirth.
Yeah.
That one that's a Fugazi as well, not true. He's rebooting DC though, but not a Justice League Rebirth. The Constantine, that rumor was offered also like beginning of the month that there is no Constantine movie being developed at DC right now.
But strangely enough, Keanu announced that he is going to have a panel for the Comic-Con of a 15th anniversary of Constantine.
Yeah, so that may be where the rumor started. That hey, he's working with DC again, and all. Of course, everybody goes, Constantine. No, it's that he's working. You got to realize, guys, when they work with a company, a big company like that, they have to sign some little contract saying, "Hey, you're going to show up at here and be here from this time to this time." It's a contract. That doesn't mean there are new movies coming out. Same thing I talked about with, and we'll talk about it here in a moment. The Ben Affleck Batman. He's not doing anything more than just the stuff he's doing to help out with Zack Snyder. That's really, and that's kind of what
he even said it. He even said, "I'm going to do anything I can to help Zach finish his vision." That's it.
The next one was Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern. That one, the second that dropped. If anybody believed that, I wanted to just disown you. But
you're off the page if you believe that.
There's no true, there's no deal, no or talks with Warner on this at all. We got the Ben Affleck one here. DC rumor says Ben will be back as Batman for an HBO project. As much and it says here as much as I personally want to see this, unfortunately, this is not true either. And Superman, nothing yet. But he is Cavill is being signed up. Again, Zatanna, there is a movie in development, and then of course Ezra. So that is the rumor squashing and confirmation. Again, Kane can't see what I have up here on my page, unfortunately. But yeah, Umberto is the one that it came from Twitter, and he is one of the more reliable sources. If you guys see us post anything from the Wrap or Deadline, those are going to be like really hardcore. Definitely,
he's usually on point with his rumors and stuff. He has a sister page I think he does on his side time. Heroic Hollywood, he does that as well.
Yeah,
so
he does,
he's pretty on point with a lot of stuff.
Yep.
So
when we're going to talk about something, we'll always follow it up with rumor. Hey, this is a rumor, and usually when we mean that, it means it's coming from a site that we know is very questionable.
And
there are quite a few of them out there. Some of them are fun. Others are just plain mean, and I don't like to talk about them any longer. But there are a couple out there that I'm like, I know you're like 50-50 on your BS, but some of it's just fun. So
yeah, it is. I mean, we could come on. We've built this podcast out of speculation and news and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's fun to speculate.
Yeah,
but sometimes it just gets to a point where like, come on, man. Now you're just tugging at people's heartstrings. You're getting the hopes up for nothing.
I know the second I read a news headline that gets my heart bumping, I know exactly who it's from, and I want to find them and hurt them. Because every time I'm like, oh, yeah, damn it. Why do I get...
I heard a year ago from this so-called site that they were going to, like, oh, Ben Affleck has re-signed with Warner Brothers for like a 5-picture film deal, which is going to end in a Batman Beyond movie. I was like, oh, yes. And I'm like, finally, it's going to happen. And I looked where the site was from. I was like, oh, God.
Yeah, this site has taught me to read the headline and then see who it's from first. And then
follow
when I
your
see
source, guys, follow your source. You have to.
And then part of those is also the cancellation of the Birds of Prey sequel. So if anybody was out there hoping for a Birds of Prey sequel, it will not be coming. They just aren't feeling the love with it. This actually came from a Giant Freaking Robot, who has offered up some good news in the past. So we definitely can believe on them. But it's just that there's no longer belief in the concept or the creative team behind the movie. I know there was a lot of bad blood. I enjoyed the movie for what it was. I understand the disdain for it, and I do have a little bit because those aren't my characters. But what they tried to do, I get and I appreciate. But that just wasn't the Huntress. That just wasn't our version of those characters. That wasn't Montoya to me. Sorry, I love Rosie Perez, but she was not Montoya. So it's just. I can sit and watch the movie and just enjoy it and enjoy Margot's performance, and I'm a huge fan of Ewan McGregor, so I can still enjoy his version of Black Mask. But DC looks like they're not having feeling the love. So, but that's okay. That means Margot and the writer Christina Hodson can move on over to the Pirates.
Yeah,
and go play in that world for a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's a cooler world for her to play in right now. I think I'm almost Harley Quinned out, and I actually after the next Suicide Squad, I think she's going to be in it. I don't think you'll see her for a while. This is my guess. I think they had their one with Harley, and it was cool, well received. But if this movie had done well, oh yeah, there was going to be a ton of sequels. But didn't do well.
Yeah,
badly received, and
I think that treating her like they're not treating her, but keeping her in the rotation of being seen like they do in the Suicide Squad is perfect to me.
Yeah, that's
Just
fine.
have her come in every couple of years, reportray that. I understand your age is going to get there, so you're going to have to find a new Harley. But just I think just Harley in small nuggets, just like anything in that
Small
in that realm.
doses, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Because it makes you miss the character
yeah.
once in a while. You don't want it so much in your face, and that movie was kind of doomed for that title. That was bad, and then the travesty they did with Cassandra Cain was just
Yeah.
unforgivable. A character like that, I mean, they basically just raped her. That's how bad it was. How they did her. They did her dirty. All right, they just did her dirty in that movie. But I did like the Huntress version. It was okay. I just wanted to know more about her. But like I
Yeah,
said,
there's just certain things on there that I was like, yeah, they didn't do it justice. And again, like I said, I understood what they were trying to do, go for. I get it, I can dig it, but those just weren't my characters. And that's what I missed.
I agree. Speaking of Disney, some of the Disney execs say, guess what? It is the right time for what? A movie we talked about tangentially last night? Tron 3. That's right. They want to do a Tron 3. Of course, Legacy was released almost 10 years ago, which is crazy to think 10
Yeah,
years
now
ago
you're
that
saying
movie
that.
came
Yeah.
out. That's insane. With one of the best soundtracks of all time by Daft Punk. Apparently, they're going to be back on board for Tron 3. So, yeah. I don't know. I kind of like the Tron. Have you ever seen the Tron series, the animated series on Disney Plus?
I watched a couple of them, but I wasn't like sitting down really paying
Okay,
attention. They were just
you
playing in the
you probably
background.
could tell I was watching it because I was the one watching it because I'm on your queue. So
Oh yeah,
it was me. But I like what the series was doing because they paid homage to the old series, but they were actually reintroducing new characters to carry on the torch. They had like a new guy who was going to be the new Tron, which I thought was a cool idea. You know, I mean, I don't know how they're going to do it, but why not? I mean, you're going to do another Pirates movie. I mean,
the fifth one, the sixth
you
one.
don't, you're not on board with this one? No?
What, the Pirates or the Tron?
No, Tron.
No, Tron. No, no, please do Tron.
Okay.
It's a very great story and great universe that it's just not touched enough. But I think that's perfect. I think two movies in an animated series lets you enjoy what you get. But we us, we're all comic book fans and just geeks in general. We always want more. We need to understand more about the universe of this. And I would love to see more.
They could do a lot of cool stuff too, especially like being inside the computers. I mean, they haven't even introduced like computer viruses yet. I mean, that'd be kind of a cool thing to do.
And I think
So-
with the new technology they've been doing with, I'd love to see it being done with Tron especially. But the new technology of filming that they did with Mandalorian, we talked about this a month or two ago, that they're actually in a dome and everything is their universe, their world that they're standing in is just in this dome and reflecting on there. And as they move, the world moves with them. And I could just see that on Tron would be just mind blowing. Because seeing what they do and knowing what they do for Mandalorian and the way they made his world was just amazing. And if you add in a digital, I mean, his was all earthy tones and jungles and deserts and just realistic things. But if you throw a digital world into that kind of environment, God, I mean, it would just blow your mind. And that one I can definitely see. And Disney owns the rights to that, or I think they own the rights to that. I mean,
yeah, that's theirs. Yeah.
so I mean, go have fun with that and try in the world of Tron.
Oh yeah, go crazy. Don't leave anything back. I mean, like if you want to bring Garrett Eglin back, you could bring him back as Sam Flynn. That'd be cool. You could bring Jeff Bridges back too. Just don't do that CGI anymore, please.
I know it's gonna have to be. Have we seen Jeff lately?
I know.
It's going to be CGI. It's going to be the computer, but I think they've improved it. I mean, you got to think this was 10 years ago. Think what they did with Force Awakens,
Tarkin,
I mean, just think about everything they did in Star Wars with Leia and Tarkin. Imagine what they can now do with Jeff, with Bruce, doing something with having Bruce in there somehow.
Yeah, I didn't like the way they treated Bruce in that last movie.
Maybe they can make themselves up with this.
Yeah, because that whole movie he was basically covered up, and you just heard his voice. I didn't like that at all. So I mean, I guess if they used all the CGI effects for Jeff, they were like, we're not going to use it for Bruce.
Well, I can get with Bruce because the type of character he was a mystery character. So you don't want to know who that is at first. That I didn't think it was a bad treatment of the character or the actor. I just think it lent to the story that they were trying to tell. But I think with the technology from 10 years ago to now, I think what you didn't like or what you disliked about the movie would be fixed and probably look 100 times better.
Plus, the soundtrack is going to be killer. Come on.
Yeah.
That soundtrack, I still play it once in a while when I'm driving to work.
That's right, folks. Heroes Asylum will have a soundtrack coming out soon ourselves, and that'll be all of Kane's noises over the last 2 years. It'll be our 2-year anniversary gift to the Facebook group.
Soundtrack from Kane by Kane.
Oh God, let me. I gotta pull some old shows now to make that up.
Oh yeah, well the sound. Oh my God, I can only imagine.
Have to get our friend DJ Ben in here to help me mix some of this down.
Oh boy, that's gonna be it's gonna be the Patreon version of the show.
Oh yeah. People are gonna have to pay for that, or
you have to pay.
Maybe they would have to pay for it to not be released.
Yes, you can do that also at the Heroes Asylum at Twitter and Instagram.
Do a Kickstart program that sounds of Kane. Please stop the madness.
That's the title right there. Yep. Sounds of Madness by Kane. Please stop it.
Oh, all right.
That's all I got.
Okay, that's all I have as well. Did you get any reads? You want to talk about any reads this week? Because I know you and I've been slacking. Still slacking?
We get the reads next week. Because I got a couple of them. I just finished a couple, and there's a lot to talk about with the reads. And I think some newer ones are coming out this week also, so it'll be a good time. Maybe we'll just do an old pull section of the show. I don't know.
Maybe we can do that next week.
Yeah,
we got
we have been slacking huge. Yeah. And that's my fault. So
partially mine. I got kind of stopped reading. I mean, because the books that were coming out during the quarantine was like sporadic, and I think I just got out of my rhythm. I started reading novels instead, and I kind of now have to find that happy medium place where I can read a little bit of some of my books, and then read my comic books as well, and just kind of mesh it in because I burned through was it Aftermath with Chuck for Star Wars. So I was burning through the first book there, and then started on a couple other.
You just hit a lull. That's what happens there. And you get reading some series, and you're not interested. You're like, nah, I don't want to read this. I'm starting to like delve into some hardcore fantasy. We'll get back up there.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. So, all right, guys. So make sure you guys do check us out. Of course, here on the YouTube page and on our podcast. If you guys aren't listening to us on our podcast, you guys can definitely do that. It's hands-free, so you don't have to see our pretty faces. So that helps you get through the day a lot better. You can find all of our stuff for heroesasylum.com. I'm trying to get that page updated. I haven't quite found the niche I'm looking for, but the page is out there, still sort of under construction. You can also find all of our links on streamerlinks.com/heroes_asylum. You'll get a link to all of our pages. If you can't catch what Kane's about ready to tell you, you can go to that page and find them all.
At the Twitter page at the Heroes Asylum Podcast and Instagram at the Heroes Asylum. Twitter page is awesome, by the way. We're doing some stuff on Instagram. Facebook page.
Facebook page has been blowing up.
Hey, the Facebook page, I gotta say, is no longer in control of these two guys here.
No,
it is. Of you guys.
It is now. It's in the hands of the inmates now.
The inmates are truly running the asylum. That page. If you guys haven't checked out the Facebook page, check it out. I mean, the comments are just wild, and the pictures that I've actually been putting some stuff on there. But you guys have been commenting like crazy, and just saying things that I never even knew about, and you're posting things I hadn't even heard about. So, guys, keep the community going, like and share. We appreciate it very, very much. And as always, from the captain to me to you guys, get to the asylum. See you soon.